burial ground from the time of first temple. Remember I told you in the time of King David they buried the dead king on the side of the Mount of Olives, okay, and over the years they started to climb up. So if you look to your right you can see under this neighborhood, and let me say a few words about this neighborhood. We can see, for example, over there in the cliffs we can see burial chambers. There are holes on the side of the mountains. Okay, can you see them over there, the holes on the side of the mountains? And this is a burial ground of Jews and maybe the Jewish king from the time of King David and later on. The story of this neighborhood, this entire area is very interesting. Remember that earlier today we talked about the wall and the significance of the wall and how the great Sultan Suleiman built the wall to bring safety and security. And for hundreds of years, it brought safety and security to the point that people were afraid to be outside of the walls. Outside of the wall, there were bandits, there were wild animals. Life was almost impossible. And the first people that start to live outside of the walls of the old city are the Jews that were basically pushed outside because they couldn't purchase. It was illegal to sell them land, and they had no choice. As their community grew up, they start to move outside. This hill over here, I told you, was used for archaeology. And all sort of British gentlemen will acquire the land, and Baron Rothschild that I mentioned when we've been to Caesarea, he purchased some of the land over here, and they start to dig over here very long time ago. And the Jews built the first neighborhood in the area of your hotel, the street with the umbrellas. Okay, this is one of the first neighborhoods. And all those neighborhoods over there will start to build them in the end of the 19th century. Another neighborhood for Yemenite Jews was built over here. But this neighborhood was very, very isolated because it was alone with no other Jewish communities around it. And in riots, Arab riots in the 1920s, the neighborhood was abandoned and the Arabs moved into it. Well, when I say abandoned, it's not that people decide to leave. The Arabs threatened to kill them. So they took over their property, and today this is an Arab community, actually one of the most hostile Arab communities in East Jerusalem. And you can see that they actually build on top of the ancient Jewish burial ground. And unfortunately, they could be amazing discoveries for us over there, but the people that live over there use them for different things. They use them sometimes as a sewage, a place for all the sewage of the house to go to. Some of them use for the sheep and the goat to sleep in. Some of them they just trash. And it doesn't seem like a real, genuine research is going to take place over there over the years. But if you continue the line of the cliff with all the holes, you can really see the holes on the side of the cliff. You get to the foots of Mount of Olives and you can see the many tombstones still lying on the ground over there. And as I told you, in the beginning the Jews buried only in caves, in burial chambers. And only after the time of Second Temple, the Jews start to bury the dead in sarcophaguses and to have tombstones the way that we bury today. Okay? So this is the other side of the Kidron Valley. But at the time of the first temple, the Kidron Valley was much more steep and deep. We are going to the water system, the amazing water systems of the city of David, and we're going to see some of the most amazing discoveries that were discovered under this neighborhood. Very interesting. They start to discover things over here, and at the same time they build neighborhood on the property. So it's pretty limit our ability to research, but life should come first. So if people live over here, we should let them be.